Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Sthlm here. I'm in LA now. So basically, my last video I left off on my channel was basically me explaining to you guys how I'm like, okay, me and my boyfriend finna move to LA, and we've been here for 2 months now, and we're pretty settled. What do I come up with these? Whatever. But we're pretty settled. So I just did my own little digging and my own little research and stuff like that, and I watched my own videos about other people who moved out here, you know. So I just applied some of what they were saying too, but I kind of made it my own, and a lot of these tips too actually came from what I noticed personally and what happened with me and how I was able to kind of navigate through the city. So I'm not trying to look for the clout, look for the fame. That ain't why I'm here. I'm here because I have a lot of things that I want to do creatively and free spirit like, and I felt that this city would be very open-minded to that, or to receiving that. So whatever. So yeah, that's nor here nor there. So I'm gonna jump right into the tips basically. Yeah, that's why I decided to come to LA, and I'm just gonna, you know, jump right into the tip. Tip number 1. Yes, I came out the gate with the most important tip. We're not gonna go from 10, because why? I need you to know out the gate like what you need to do to be okay out here. Okay, the mindset. I cannot stress this enough. If your mindset is not where it needs to be, and you come to a place like this where it's basically la la land, this is what they really call it out here, la la land. It's so easy to get wrapped up in things that you shouldn't be wrapped up in. Okay, don't care what people say. That's number 1. Before you even make that move, you're gonna have a lot of people, like I said, you're gonna have a lot of people saying, you know, it's expensive, you know, it's not cheap. What are you gonna do about food? What are you gonna do if you ain't got a place where you can cook in? You know, what are you gonna do with this, and what are you gonna do with that, and do with this and this and that? And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. This is going to be a no sugarcoating video. I am not trying to have this glamorous lifestyle. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm this top model out here. I'm being 100% real and raw. Okay, I have food stamps in Chicago, and I brought them over here, and they work over here. Okay, so at the end of the day, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. You know, my boyfriend like, let's just search places and see if they work. And they work. You know, they work at just regular grocery stores out here. You can get food with that and stuff like that. So I'm just telling you right there, don't let people really discourage you. Here's the crazy part about it all, y'all. The main people that were telling me how expensive it was, who didn't agree with us moving or whatever, all of a sudden or whatever, were people who actually never even been to LA. Hey, well, did you come here yourself to experience that? Tip number 2, I would definitely say, be smart with your living arrangements. Now, when I first came out here, I had it in my head, and you know, we had an understanding with my cousin that we were going to stay with him and his girlfriend until we got off our feet. Now, listen, I gotta make a separate video about our actual experience, like what me and my boyfriend went through, and that's going to be on our Mimi and JoJo page. It's gonna be on a whole nother video on what happened with me, my cousin, his girl, all of that craziness, because it was a hot, stinking, stale ass mess. Okay? Try to have a plan on where you're going to stay before you come out here, because we don't want you to end up homeless. Homelessness in LA is the highest in the United States right now. Everybody is everywhere. They even have tents out here. They're downtown. They're on the beach. They're on expressways. Literally on the side of the expressway, there are tents set up. And you know, it's pretty sad. You know, they're everywhere. So, you know, you have a lot of people that come here, and I heard this quote. You know, LA is the place where dreams come to die. And I'm never gonna claim that. I don't claim it. I just telling you what I heard. Now, Airbnbs out here are really reasonable, depend on how you mentally look at it. You have people out here that are willing to pay $600, no, excuse me, like $500 per night or $400 per night just to say that they're in a luxury Airbnb and they're overlooking Hollywood or palm trees. And no, it's not that deep. If you'll be homeless after the 2 days is up, and look, you just spent $1,000 only for 2 days. You almost spent a stack for 2 days. Like, we not gonna do that, sis. If you really strategize the Airbnb situation, you can get one like 5 nights for like $150, or you know what I'm saying, versus like $500 per night. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, there are Airbnb places on there that are like $30 per night. I saw some that are $10 per night, but the ones that are $10 per night, you literally have to stay like a whole month. That's how they get you, so pay attention. Rent. We all know LA is expensive. If you're trying to literally go into this and move out here and get your own place right away, you better have some stacks saved, like off of. Sometimes their security deposits are even ridiculous. If your credit is not even where it needs to be, your security deposit is going to be damn near, they can even double it. Like, most of these security deposits for rent out here is like $1,500 and up. Like, that's how I was kind of looking at places out here. I'm like, damn, what the like, you can literally, like, a 1-bedroom is legit, you're paying minimum like $1,800 to $2,000, and that's just for a 1-bedroom or a studio. It's like, but like I said, I'm gonna get to the other tip to make that kind of work if you really want your own place, because that's everybody goal. Ain't nobody gonna live roommate to roommate forever. Ain't nobody gonna live, you know, in a private room forever. You know, the goal is to get your own place, get your own car, do you. They have hostels. If you're not familiar with a hostel, is basically a hostel is low cost, short-term shared room. Think of it as a nicer shelter, but not really a shelter at all. You know what I'm saying? They're really, the hostels in LA are actually pretty nice. And another tip, you can find hostels also on Airbnb, and it'll say hostel. And then you know, only downside about a hostel is you don't have a private room. You don't really have, you know, the privacy that you would normally have in a private room or an entire place that you booked or whatever. The hostel is going to be, you know, it may be like 10 to 15 beds in one room, or like only 5 beds in one room, depending on how big the space is that the person who owns it, you know, has. Tip number 3, transportation. Now, the transportation in Los Angeles is, people actually do too much and make it worse than what it really is. The transportation is doable. If you know you don't have a car out here, of course Uber and Lyft is going to be your secondary options, but who has money for Uber and Lyft all the time? When I first got out here, the first thing me and my boyfriend did was got our Metro cards, you know, and we like, let's just figure out this bus system and this train system. It's only $1.75 for their transportation, which is love. Like, in Chicago, it's $2.50, like, bro, per ride, especially if it ain't no transfer. It pisses me off. Anyway, Chicago, fix it. Transportation I mastered very quickly, and my thing is, it took me a minute to get to places on time, because don't get me wrong, LA is the most spread out city ever. Like, out of every city, like, LA is so spread out. If you came out here with like $100, like I came out here with only $100. Like, I'm so serious. You gotta plan your time out. So I always have to leave out, you know, maybe sometimes an hour in advance, an hour and a half in advance. You just got to do what you got to do when you're dream chasing and when you got things to do. So definitely, this applies to every city. It's not even just LA. New York especially too. Like, if you have to, you know, do what you got to do what you got to do. Plan your day, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let your day be all over the place. If you know you have a casting or a job that you work in that you got to be at a certain time, try to leave out as early as you can. It's going to take you a minute to get used to it, but it's okay. And LA, I had so many people that were working with me. Like, my job was really working with me, you know, as far as my my tardiness. I would come in a little bit late sometimes, but they were like, you from Chicago, you here. It's a lot to get used to, I know, but you cool. Just try to get it down, try to process it. It's a knowledge game. Just try to really absorb as much as you can with the transportation. Every train comes like every 7 to 14 minutes, exactly same as Chicago. Now every bus, now that's the tricky part. I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. Their buses how the buses run out here are not back to back. They're like so spread apart. Like every bus out here probably comes like every 40 minutes. Now some buses come quicker than others. Like if it's a main street like Hollywood, Fairfax, or some of these other streets, Olympic. I'm still getting familiar with the streets, but I'm just listing some that I know. Some of those streets, those buses will run a little bit quicker because it's a busier street. Everybody got to go to this, a place on this street. Tip number 4, getting a job in LA. Now, this was the thing that everybody was so worried and panicky and finicky about, because they're like, how are you going to get a job in a city that you don't even live in right now? Let me tell you how raw we are, okay? Around these parts, we don't try to hit none of that. And let me tell you something. When you let people psych you out and put it in your head that you can't do something that's definitely possible, and you're selling yourself short. You know what I'm saying? So to all the people think that you can't get a job in LA if you're in Chicago and you haven't moved there yet, use a lie, because my boyfriend came to LA hired. He like, oh yeah, babe, all you gotta do is sign the documentation, the paperwork when I get down there and just walk in, and they told me to come between like 1 and 6 when I land or whatever. I'm like, what? Now on the other hand, I'm like, okay, I had like 4 interviews lined up, ready, just ready to go. I was communicating through one job on this website called WorkPop, and I don't know if you're familiar with WorkPop, but I'm gonna put it at the description. Like I said, every app, every website I mentioned, I'm gonna put at the bottom. But WorkPop was so dope because WorkPop, you could communicate with the hiring manager via like this little IM like message. It's similar to like Messenger, but she was like, just reaching back out to you. I spoke to you earlier, like last week, and I know you said you're moving to LA. Like, are you leaving this week? What's the status on you being in here? I'm like, oh yeah, my flight is this Friday. She like, oh, okay, well, when you get in, could you come in and meet with so-and-so for a sit down and interview? I'm like, absolutely can. This was literally like quick. Like, it happened quick. And before I knew it, long story short, I was hired within 4 days of being in LA. Literally hired. They like, can you start the next day? What's up? Yes. A week and a half, I received my first check, and from being in LA. I legit was so serious. Like, and I was working full-time hours. They had me scheduled like on the daily for like 8-9 hours. So I was making a pretty decent amount, and I was making 15. I think they keep saying the minimum wage out here is 12 or whatever, but I was making 15 or whatever. I was making 15 at this, job, and it was like a very luxury, I didn't even know, boutique on Melrose for skincare. They had clothing and everything that you could think of under the sun, but I was in the skincare area because, I specialize in that. I'm trying to become an esthetician. So I was working in the skincare. I was the hair products, the candles, the fragrances, and all of that jazz, and the roses and cute stuff like that. So with that being said, that job, a lot of celebrities were coming in that job and, and whatnot. But yeah, getting a job is not impossible. You can do it. I use Indeed, WorkPop. Google was very, very informative, and it was a nice engine to use as well, because Google, if you search jobs hiring in Los Angeles, they'll bring up all the jobs hiring in a specific field that you want. Like, say if you're looking for jobs in beauty or cosmetics, they bring up all the jobs in cosmetics. And even if you scroll down on Google, they have a filter. If you wanted to see the jobs that were posted within 7 days only, and you don't want to waste your time looking at jobs that were posted like 23 days ago, 50 days ago, you can do that. Tip number 5 is networking. Networking is the most productive thing that you can do here. Like, come on, it's a big city. First of all, I think the population in California is like 39 million. It's like a lot of us here. Network with the right people. Don't be thirsty when you're networking. Oh my God, I cannot. The thirst is real, and you can tell when someone's so desperate to get their name in someone else's hands so they can get to this position. You can tell. I keep it real genuine, real natural, real me. Like, hi, my name is Messiah. I'm a big ball of energy. Nice to meet you. Like, you're going to find out if you didn't know how much energy I got. You're going to find out today. But I'm not over the top with it. I just know this is my personality. I'm very bubbly. I have a loud mouth sometimes. I'm I'm not ratchet though. I don't conduct myself in an unladylike manner. I make sure that I'm okay, you know what I'm saying? So when you're networking with people, network with the right people. So if you're trying to be a model in LA, don't spend all your time networking with all models, you know, because you want to kind of cross network, you know. If you know you're a model, network with actresses, because actresses may introduce you to somebody that may put you in something with modeling. And you know what I'm saying? You know, network with producers, network with executives, network with people of different industries. You know, don't just spend so much time networking with, oh, let me just find another model who's doing this and another model. No, you're naturally going to come across models all day long. You're naturally going to come across them. So why even just focus or put all your attention into that and just being so tunnel vision? No, focus on just networking with all types of people. And I'm going to give you some game on, you know, where to kind of start with networking, and like where the clubs be like jam-packed. And you know, my goal for when I go out to the club is I started getting in good with the promoters in LA. And if you don't know how to find LA promoters, or if you don't know how to find promoters in any city at all, literally go to Instagram, hashtag LA promoter. They have flyers. They post flyers like an insane amount of flyers like every week, every day, because they promote. This is what they do. I found my promoters in LA. I legit either met them in person, you know, just out and about on Hollywood Boulevard or wherever I was at, or I go to Instagram. I'm a hashtag queen. Anything I want, model castings, anything I find within hashtags. You just have to be patient. So a tip, it would be to go to Instagram, put in LA promoters or promoters Los Angeles or Los Angeles promoters, whatever, however you word it, be creative, you know. And then when you go to the hashtags, hit the hashtag and then go to recent. When you hit recent, it'll show all the ones that were posted within an hour ago, within 30 minutes ago, all the recent posts. So you can see who's active still on Instagram, number one, because you don't want to waste your time going through posts from 2016. They'll get you in the club for free. You don't have to pay a cover charge. They'll probably, if they're nice promoters and they actually care about you having a good time, joining Facebook groups for networking was so important to me. I have a couple friends who already live in LA, so they were like, let me just invite you to these Facebook groups. Now, Facebook groups, if you're not familiar with them, these are groups of they're hosted by either like 4 to 5 admins or maybe one admin that kind of controls the page, and it'll be like probably anywhere from like 500 or like 100 to like 50,000, 70,000 members in this group. And don't fret. Don't get crazy. Don't think of 60,000 members like, oh my God, I'm not going to get any attention, or no. Just make yourself known. Put yourself out there. So I'm part of the group LA Models, Actors, Photographers. That's literally the name of the group, LA Models, Actors, Photographers, Actresses. That's the name of the group. And that's basically what the group is. So the group full of photographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, nail techs, models, actresses, actors, videographers, all of that. And when they have castings, they'll post them, you know. And the page is so dope that the group that I'm attached to, they let me share myself. You know, some of them, it can get a little catty. You know, I know some groups are like, this is not a group where models are finna sit up here and post their pictures and tell you to follow them. No, this group actually lets you do that, you know. But everybody does it with, you know, everybody does it in moderation. When I posted like a couple of my pictures, like, hey, new to LA, you know, link with me. If you want to do trade for print, boom, you know, if you have any gigs, shoot my way, looking for paid work as well, you know. I got some responses from that. You know, I had 2 photographers hit me up. They're like, let's do a shoot. One photographer, she's so dope. She does like a lot of vintage themed things. She's like, I'm away right now. I'm in another continent right now, but when I come back, we're going to plan a nice shoot. And I'm also a cinematographer, so let's just go. I can plan something nice for us, and then let's just create a vibe. Eventbrite was very, very, very nice. Now, Eventbrite is like where all the stuff be going down. You can get tickets to Grammy after parties, Oscar after parties, you know, if you're into that kind of stuff, to do your networking. And I'm not even into the Grammys and Oscars like that anymore, but I would definitely use the after parties as a place to network. Some of the tickets were as low as $25, $40, skip the line, VIP, walk the red carpet, at these nice hotels in Beverly Hills, you know. things like that. Like, they be having a lot of lit stuff. You know, if it's a celebrity popping up at a club, usually the flyers on Eventbrite, you can get tickets or early bird pass. You can surpass the line at the club, show them your barcode, you in there. Definitely try to go to fashion shows, go to when somebody's launching a clothing line, try to, you know, go up in there, have some wine, view some clothing, go to art galleries, things like that. These are places to network your ass off and meet new people of all different types of nationalities. And tip number 6 is establish your image. To go into detail with establishing your image, what I mean by that is know what you want, know the vibe that you want to give off to people, know the energy that you want to give off to people, know yourself, know what people can expect of you. You know, I know what people can expect of me. You know, expect a very, very real chill spirit who's down to meet new people. I'm very bubbly, like I said. I'm real cool. I won't disrespect you if you don't disrespect me. I'm always down for a good time, but let's not get it twisted. Some people versions of a good time ain't my versions of a good time, and I'm going to make that clear what my good times are. So let's just be clear. This all falls into just establishing your image, establishing what you want to represent. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you want to be a video vixen out here in LA and want to be in music videos, are you going to be the girl that wants to stop at, nope, I'm not wearing a thong, I'm not shaking my ass in the music video, I don't want to twerk, I just don't want to be the girl that's like the hip-hop, you know, I want to be the girl that's kind of like the love interest, walking down the stairs in a gown, or at a event clapping, or just something simple, or just a regular guest in the crowd and getting paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Establish the roles that you want to kind of play, establish what your image is. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the girls who do want to do that side of, you know, being in a music video, you know, having risque clothes on and doing their thing. I don't judge. I'm just telling you to know yourself, know what you're doing. Because if you don't make it clear, they're going to assume, oh, she's cool with it, she okay with it, and then, you know, I don't hear no objections from her, so let's just get with it. And they're gonna throw you a thong or throw you a bra or some pasties or whatever, and you're gonna be looking crazy, because the moment, you know, it's time for you to actually do it and get on set and get on the actual like platform, they're gonna be like, okay, in action, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, hold on. I did a music video and was paid. It was pretty dope. They were rappers, and at the end of the day, like I said, it's a job. You know, we're there to do a job. I'm definitely there to meet new people, do this, do that, but what we're not gonna do is, if they were to ask me to do something that I wasn't comfortable with, I was gonna make it known that, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, you know, is there any way I can do something else that I'm comfortable with? If the answer is no, do not be afraid to lose out on that gig because they didn't want to accommodate you. Money is never that important, sis. It's never that important to the fact that you have to sacrifice the woman that you are or the man that you are just to get a quick dollar because they said so. No. If you don't feel comfortable, let them know. I'm going to tell you right now that the only way, real way, to actually survive financially in LA is to have several different streams of income coming in at once. The goal is to be making money practically in your sleep if you can. So what I mean by this is, I know you're like me, you make it sound so easy, easier said than done, right? Honey, I'm still in the process of getting this done myself. You know, I don't have 7 streams of income, but I'll be damned if I told you that I'm not working towards that. So what I mean by 7 streams of income is, you're never going to evolve doing just one thing out here. It's okay to have a job, but okay, have a part-time job and then do your side hustles on the side. You know, if you want to be a bartender at night, work by day, do hair by afternoon, whatever. Do nails when you book, you know, just plan out your calendar. Make sure that your calendar can accommodate all of these things, of course, because if you're just doing these out of just, oh my God, I just want money, 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 and you're not really planning it, they're going to overlap and you're going to end up overbooking yourself. If you know your goal is to be in your own place or have your own car in LA by a certain time, you know, and you gave yourself a deadline, definitely working one job or doing one thing is not going to get you to that goal fast. LA, it's a lot to do. It's a lot to do. Craigslist, I know they be like, okay, people be scamming, but a lot of gigs that I've got so far from Craigslist have actually been legit. I'm just able to peep a scam. I can already tell when someone's trying to scam me. So I'm able to sense the scams out here. They're always looking for models on Craigslist. When I tell you modeling on Craigslist, it's like they need a model in Hollywood, model needed in Venice Beach, model needed in Malibu, model needed in Orange County, model needed for Bikini Line, model needed for Ecom, model needed for campaign. Bro, I got love from Craigslist, you know. And sometimes it may seem like you're waiting and waiting and waiting, but no, definitely be patient with Craigslist, because, you know, it takes some time for them to respond to you, but I've definitely got a lot of responses since I've been here, and some of them actually went through, and I actually have received payment cash from these gigs on Craigslist, okay? So do some side hustles. They're looking for people to write little short stories, $50 per story, little scripts. You can write scripts for movies or little independent films. They pay you for that. Like, they pay you for so much. Like, a rich woman will pay you to organize her Christian Louboutin closet because she doesn't have time to do it because she's always out in Beverly Hills somewhere or in another country. They'll pay you. You can actually walk people's dogs and get paid with Rover and Wag. These are apps that'll pay you and things like that to just basically walk people dogs. It's so many dogs out here in LA, so you're not gonna have a problem finding work with walking somebody's dog, because 9 times out of 10, like I said, people are so busy they won't do it, and they'll get a whole pet or 2 or 3 and then can't even walk them, so they're gonna have you do it. A lot of different things to generate multiple incomes. I was in Chicago. I was literally doing hair. I was doing background work for Empire, Chicago PD, making money from that. I was legit doing promo modeling for Courvoisier, Maker's Mark Whiskey. I was doing so many things at once. Trying to basically shift that momentum to this state, to this city. So tip number 8, style on a budget. This is a tip that I think is very savvy to have, because let me tell you something. You're looking at a girl right here who've wore a $10 dress and gotten so much love. When I tell you I got the most love that I've ever gotten from a club in my life with this $10 dress on at this club in Hollywood. When I tell you I had more women gawking at me than men, it was, and these were straight women, you know, majority of them. They were like, you just stand out. You just look bomb. And your hair, and like I said, when my hair is touched up, it's literally all like white and very like platinum, white blondish, legit. So baffled by all of this love, because when I first was, you know, even on the plane, I'm like, what if LA doesn't like my look? What if they reject my look? You know, what if they're just, you know, they're into the long hair, small waist, beautiful, glamorous Instagram model type look? You know, what if I just don't do it? What if New York was really for my look, you know, and for my edginess and things like that? No, LA actually likes it. That brings me to my main point. You can style on a budget. When I tell you there are so many people out here in LA living a facade, you have them driving sports cars and condos and things like that. Most of that shit they don't even own. I promise you. The car is rented. The place is their homeboy's place. People are name brand whores out here, you know. It's the Fendi drip. It's the D&G, the Gucci drip, and that's cool and all. But, nah, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and let that get me to a place mentally where I'm like, damn. Look at he dripping, like, look at his Fendi drip, like, damn, like, I'm going to bust my ass out here to make sure I can get me some, no. I'd rather you be making so much money. I want y'all to make so much money, bro, that you just happen to be strolling on Rodeo Drive and you just happen to see the Fendi store, see the Yves Saint Laurent store, and walk in and be like, oh, when I say style on a budget, it's people out here that are literally going to thrift stores, 21, you know, Uniqlo, a lot of different stores that are very price friendly and literally just going crazy with the drip. I'm talking about crazy. Like, looks phenomenal. But you wouldn't even know that her whole outfit was only $40, $50 versus the person that has on a whole outfit of designer and looks like trash. Money doesn't buy you style. Money does not buy you style, nor does it buy you a sense of what looks right, what goes together, how to coordinate. It just doesn't. Number 9. Be open-minded. Be open-minded as you can be. If you're not open-minded and you're so closed off, you're going to block your blessings. You're not going to receive the opportunities that are actually laid out in front of you and maybe presented to you in LA that's like, hey, just do it. Try it. You actually may like this. And guess what? If you like it, it actually may bring you a very good amount of change as far as income. Definitely do it. I cannot make this any more imperative, because every opportunity that comes your way is not going to harm you. And now let's go to the other side of the spectrum. I want you to be open-minded, but I do not want you to be too open-minded. I don't want you to be spread eagle, because that my dear, can get you in a lot of trouble, and that's when the bull really starts to happen. I'd rather you actually be more closed off than too open-minded, if you really had to pick a bad apple out of the bunch. Because being too open-minded, you're basically just like, yes, money, opportunity, yeah. No, every opportunity that comes your way does not mean that it's a good opportunity necessarily. Some opportunities are so bad for our health. Some opportunities may be so bad for our image, our brand, and you may be damaging yourself doing this opportunity. Please think about you. If you don't, give me bad decisions. Benefits does not only pertain to money. Benefits is the whole damn pie, not just a piece of it. It's the image, it's the brand, what you're trying to do. Is it going to benefit you in all aspects? If the answer is no, do not do it. That's number 9. Tip number 10 is the final tip, and it's not a tip. It's just motivation. My motivation will definitely be, if you're thinking about going anywhere in the world, if your spirit and your discernment truly feels that you deserve to be here, you deserve to be here. When we allow other human beings to infiltrate our brain and our thought process and our head and what our dreams are, you're basically allowing them full and total control over you. And when you lost control over yourself, it's the saddest thing ever. Just be 100% clear and transparent. This is for my people who believe in God. If you don't believe in God, this is the end of the video for you, okay? I'm not super religious. I don't have a specific religion that I practice. However, my mother is the same way. I do believe in having a strong relationship with God. And let me tell you, when you put a strong mind with a strong relationship with the Lord in front of you, that is a duo and a mix so powerful that you cannot not become successful. Always have an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. Always have an extra plan. My goal is to stay 6 steps ahead of myself out here, okay? Because it's the only way I see myself thriving and evolving into the blossoming flower that I know I'm about to become. And things is about to get real. A lot more content is going to be dropping on my YouTube channel. I have more free time to do what it is that I'm trying to do. The ball is in your court. Are you gonna let somebody else control the ball, or are you gonna control the ball? You know? And rest in peace, Kobe. Stop watching the next person and watch your own moves and watch your own steps, and you're going to be fine. So without further ado, that was just all my tips on how to survive in LA. You will be fine in LA. It's not scary at all. It's not what people make it seem like. I booked my first athletic campaign in LA with a company overseas, and I'm just so grateful to say that I've even got that opportunity. Peace and love to everybody who wants to travel and move to a new state or move somewhere else. You are loved. You know what you want to do. You have my full support. If you want to hit me up, if you have any more questions in detail about LA. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button.